Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for messages for all signs, Reiki for 5 minutes, and then free for all questions or card of the day. It is March the 28th at 11:59 here Mountain Time in the United States. And so we will be doing messages for March the 29th. And I forgot to silence my phone once again, so let me take care of that. What is this? Silliness. There we go. Hey, Kelsey Rice. Hello, hello. Tammy Bambi. Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you guys in the room. Ricky Jorgensen. Hey, hey. Billy Dog's mama. Hey, hey, hey. That's a lot of emoticons. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me go ahead and get started here. I just came out of the box a little bit slow, but let's go ahead and get Aries message underway for the 29th of March, which is actually falling on a Thursday. You know, we've got the full moon coming up, the 31st full moon, new moon, not sure, one of the moons. You know. Okay, so Aries, let's look at you guys for the 29th. What do we have coming up? Aries, you guys have a lot going on around you. I feel like there's a lot of things that are happening, things that are changing in your environment with the people who you influence and the people who influence you. I think you're going to be on your toes keeping up with that. Some things are going to be changing for yourself, but I think we're looking at more that's changing for the people that you care about or that you interact with a lot. So you're going to have to be on your toes with all of that. Julius, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you back in the room, my dear. How you feeling today? A blue moon. That means it's a full moon, too. LaShawn Trice, hello, hello. Glad to see you back, honey. Let's look at Taurus for the 29th. That's right, the second full moon of the month. Okay, Taurus, focus. Taurus for the 29th. What do I have coming up for you guys? Taurus, I think you're finding some peacefulness that you've been wanting for a while when the 29th rolls around. And I think that you are really enjoying this peacefulness. I'm not sure if you have been like babysitting the grandkids, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure that you have been loving that if that's the case. But it is really nice to be able to go back to that quiet routine afterwards, where maybe you've had visitors from out of town, or maybe you guys have been working on a big project at work and that's finally complete. There's something in here, Taurus, about finding some peacefulness and really just letting that peacefulness bring you some joy and happiness, actually. Awesome, awesome. Glad to hear that, Ms. Julie. Sarah Beth, hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you in the room, my dear. Gemini for Thursday, the 29th of March. What do I have coming up for you guys? Geminis, I do feel like there's going to be a lot of interaction with people. I am hearing make sure you're paying attention to detail, not only about what you're saying, but also about what you're hearing in these interactions. We are in Mercury retrograde. So be on your toes, be very alert about what's going on. No half-hearted listening and going, and then later on you have a surprise that hits you over the head. So interacting with a lot of people, advice coming through from Spirit here is stay on your toes. Easy to see why, because Mercury's in retrograde. Stay on your toes about the interaction. Make sure you're communicating exactly what you mean and make sure you're understanding exactly what the other people are saying as well. Sakina Purnell, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you here, my dear. I don't know if you've been in the room before, maybe once. Anyway, double welcome. Cancer, let's look at you guys for the 29th. Cancer, Cancer. Cancer, I feel like this is a day where um, it comes up to me that you're kind of floating along. For some of you, this actually has to do with your mood, that you're feeling pretty good and you're floating like nothing is going to pin you down to the earth. The other thing that I'm thinking of as I'm looking at this floating along for you guys, Cancers, this can be that you're spending a lot of time in communication with Sacred Spirit and or the divine or the universe or whatever you want to call that energy, God, whatever you use for that terminology. And I think that for some of you, you know, whether you're meditating or just communing, doing ceremony, whatever it is, you're a little bit, as you're floating along, you're a little bit out of touch with reality. You're not feeling very grounded. You're definitely in that space of, wow, I'm communing with the divine. And it's a nice space to actually be in. I love that space personally. However, if you're trying to accomplish things here in the tangible world, it's a little easier to do if you're not in that space. So be careful about when you're floating and when you're more grounded, Cancers. Roll me back. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you, Sakina. So this is your second time. Awesome. Alrighty, let's look at Leo for the 29th. Thursday for Leo. Leos, I do feel like you are preparing to wrap something up. You're preparing for the end of something. So maybe you've been working on a business presentation and you're preparing to actually deliver that presentation. Or maybe you have been remodeling your kitchen and the kitchen is almost completely done. You're getting ready to start moving your things back into the kitchen and having a more normal eating, cooking life. Something's going on though that you're wrapping it up. You're getting ready to finish whatever it is and move on to the next thing. I'm hearing. Willie Dog's mama. You had to feed Willie Dog. Well, we're glad you made it back. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. 29th for Virgo. Virgos, I have the sense that on the 29th, you're really finding your groove with something. So if there's been something that you've been participating in that you have felt like, oh, I feel like I'm out of sync, I'm out of rhythm, you know, I can't get the timing on this right. It seems like things aren't they just aren't coming together. The sense that I get for you guys is that you are absolutely finding your groove on the 29th. You're finding that sweet spot where you can balance everything out and get everything accomplished. You want to get everything accomplished and still feel good at the end of the day. So good for you, Virgo. La-da-dee-da, Virgo, Virgo. Now we're on to Libra. Libra for Thursday, the 29th. What do I have coming in for you guys? Libra, I feel like this is going to sound a little odd. First of all, this is a happy message, but I feel like you're playing some kind of game with another person. There's some kind of game that has to do with communication. So this could be, you know, something simple like flirting back and forth. This could be, you know, just something where you're just joking back and forth and I think that you're really enjoying it. I'm kind of seeing things go around in circles. So it seems like it's a very reciprocal thing. So if you're making jokes or if you're flirting, then the other person is volleying back with a joke or something flirtatious as well. And I think you guys are just having fun with this. And I see this as something that you're enjoying just in itself, that it doesn't necessarily lead to anything, but it's just an enjoyable part of the journey or an enjoyable process all on its own for you Libras. La-di-di-da. Okay, Scorpio for the 29th of March, Thursday. What do we have coming up for you guys? Scorpio, Scorpio. I think you're going to be presenting, well, we're going to be presenting ourselves, Scorpio, in a very much more vulnerable way than what we usually do to someone else. So this is going to be really sharing our heart, just kind of putting our heart on the table with someone else. And this doesn't have to be like, I think like the automatic assumption when you hear the words I'm saying would be that, oh, well, I'm going to tell so and so how much I really care about them. Some of us might. Um, but I really think that this is not necessarily that for most of us. I think we are sharing how we really feel about a situation that we're involved in with the other person, a project that maybe we're working on with them, some interaction that one or the other of us had with somebody else, but there's some way that we're really showing how we actually feel about something in a more vulnerable way than we usually do. For Scorpios, I mean, we're really great about knowing what we're feeling and being aware and in touch, but that doesn't mean that we necessarily share that with the outside world all the time. For me, this is more about actually sharing that with one person. I don't feel like it's a group of people that we're sharing with. I feel like it's one person that we're sharing how we really and truly feel about something that they may not really know from our body language or from how we are responding. Okay. So being a little bit more vulnerable than usual. By the way, I just noticed I've got 4 thumbs up already. Thank you, everybody who has given this video a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Sand, hello, hello, welcome. It does sound nice. It also sounds a little bit nerve-wracking to me. Holy dogs, Bubba. Sagittarius. Sagittarius for the 29th of March, Thursday. Okay, so I'm pulling in something about an interaction, and I feel like this is an interaction that you're having with somebody who has some authority over you. This could be, it's interesting how it shows up. I think that this could be somebody who is a boss. It also could be the reverse way where you guys are the ones that are in authority and you're having an interaction with somebody who is, ranked a little bit below you on Thursday, Sagittarius. I want to go in and see what's the point of this interaction. If you are the supervisor, Sagittarius, then I feel like what's going on is somebody is coming to you with a situation or a problem or a concern that they are seeing at work. And they are coming to you because this is something that they are not able to solve. And so they're asking you to get involved in finding a solution or in creating a solution for this situation. If you are not the supervisor, then you're the one going to your supervisor over a situation or a concern that you need some help with to find a solution at work. Okay, so that's Sagittarius. Carla Ali, hello, hello. Glad to see you in the room, dear. Alrighty, so if you who are here do not mind, please share. I do appreciate that. The more, the merrier. Capricorn, let's look at you guys. Capricorn for the 29th, and thank you for sharing. Capricorn. Capricorns, I do feel like there's something that somebody says to you that kind of hits you from out of the blue. I think as you look back, you can realize that it shouldn't have felt like it was out of the blue. You kind of should have seen it coming, but it feels like it's coming to you out of the blue at the first impression of it. So when somebody says this, I think that it surprises you. Um, I'm getting that it almost chokes you up. Like that cough was a part of the actual reading for Capricorn. That whatever it is that somebody says almost chokes you up. It has you feeling very surprised, number one, but also tense, like, oh no, what does that mean they expect from me? Type of thing. So there you go, Capricorns. Not even going to try to guess what that message is that makes you think that. Linda Beck, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? Aquarius, you're up next. Let's see what we've got on you guys. Thursday, the 29th of March for Aquarians. Aquarians, I feel like relaxation is going to be the focus for you. Maybe even to the point that you're lounging on the couch, just trying to get a break. Or it may be that, if you have to work, you're still trying to find some relief from some tension or from something that's making you anxious. You're focusing on ways to find relief for yourself, rest and relaxation, possibly even rejuvenation. But I think rest and relaxation really is, especially the relaxation. There's something that's making you tense and you just want to let go of that. That's what I'm hearing for Aquarians. Glad you're doing well, Linda Beck. You're quite welcome, Willie Dog's mama. Jama, Jama, Jama. Glad to see you in the room, sweetheart. That'll be hard to do. I know, I'm thinking of the Aquarius person that I know. It's going to be hard for them, too. It's interesting. Pisces for the 29th. Pisces. Fluorite wants to talk to Pisces. Actually, Citrine wants to talk to Pisces. I guess we've got 2 messages for Pisces today. Because these guys are duking it out over here about who gets to talk to y'all. And I'm not going to play referee. We're just going to hear from both of them. Starlight, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? So since Fluorite spoke up first, we're going to look at the Fluorite message first for Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, the Fluorite is talking about how beautiful you are as a person, how beautiful you are as a character, about, how good your heart is and how good your intentions are. And the Fluorite is also giving me an impression that other people don't want you to think about how good you are. They want you to pay attention to your flaws and your faults. And I'm even hearing your supposed flaws and your supposed faults. So they may even be like making things up or making things out to be bad that aren't really actually bad. So the Fluorite's message for you, Pisces, really Sacred Spirit's message through the Fluorite, is don't worry about what other people think about you or say about you. Don't pull your self-esteem from how other people present their ideas and their thoughts about you. Pull your self-esteem from what you know about you. Okay? So that's for Pisces. Let's see what the Citrine has to say. I know, my stones are a little bossy, aren't they? Let's see here. La da da da. La da da da. La da 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 da. Okay, so the citrine, I'm really having my attention drawn to the jagged edges on some of these citrine points that have been like somehow broken off or knocked off somewhere along the way from the stone being mined up to me. And so I'm seeing all these little jagged stumps of points and tips and being drawn to these jagged edges. And the message really is about that we all have jagged edges and that it's okay for us to have jagged edges. We just want to be aware that we do. We don't want to go through life going, oh, I'm perfect. My stuff doesn't stink. I don't have any flaws. And so we want to be aware of our flaws. But part of the things that we want to be aware of with our flaws is that gives us room for growth, gives us real room for growth as long as we're aware. And there's another message that's like hovering around the fringe of my mind. I'm just waiting for it to finish flowing in. Sometimes in a person like Pisces' typical personality, sometimes jagged edges are not bad. Sometimes jagged edges are necessary. That's the other part of this message. Sometimes when we come off a little bit harsher than what we intend to, sometimes that's actually necessary to help other people understand that, maybe I shouldn't be walking all over Pisces just because they're a nice person and they don't like confrontation. Maybe they do have a sharp side of them that I should be aware of. Maybe there are boundaries that I shouldn't go past. So this really is saying don't knock yourself for having some sharp edges every once in a while. It's okay. It may even be to your benefit. Which is not to say go out and use those sharp edges all the time, and which I don't have to worry about you guys doing. Okay, so there are your messages, Pisces. At least they talk to me. Yeah, they do. It really freaked me out the first time a rock talked to me. I was out on the trail, and there was this tiny little black pebble. Pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. Why should I pick you up? I'm good for healing and protection, it said. Freaked me out. Nikki Jane, hello, hello, welcome. Right, Willie Dog's mama? A lot of us find that in different situations in our life. You're receiving nice vibes, awesome. Floral 90, hello, hello, how are you? Yep. Thank you, S. Sand on the beautiful stone. Avneet, hello, hello. We're just getting ready to start Reiki, my dear. Sakina. Your son's always trying to bring rocks home? Rocks talk to certain people. If you're more sensitive, rocks will talk to you. So if your son wants to bring rocks home, it's probably because those rocks are influencing him, that they need to be there. Like I have one rock that I picked up, it drew me, it's actually in front of me right here. This little tiny little shard of a rock doesn't look very impressive at all. And this thing really called to me. It's one of my earlier rocks that called to me. And I asked it what it would do. And it says, I help you if you get sick. And so like a couple of days later, I got really sick bad with the flu. Like I couldn't even go to the store and get my own crackers and orange juice. And I remembered this rock. And I went to pick it up off of my dresser and hold on to it while I was sick. And when I did, this thing literally jumped like half an inch from the dresser into my hand. It was pretty wild. So rocks definitely have their own energy. And if they're talking to your son, then, your son's hearing that. It's worth encouraging. Cool. All right. So let's do 5 minutes of Reiki now, guys. I am setting the intention so that whatever will benefit you the most is what the Reiki will focus on for each of you as individuals. And if you have something more specific you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to adjust that. For those of you who are watching this broadcast after it is over, then feel free to set the intention to receive the Reiki, and you'll get just as much benefit from it as the people who are here right now. Let's get started. Okay, so we started at 24 after the hour, so we'll finish up at 29 after the hour. Faye Fit, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room, honey. You're quite welcome, Sakina. 2:24 a.m. Wow, well, we're lucky to have you in the room with us. Good afternoon, Hannah David. Yes, rock energy is more powerful than what we realize most of the time. Sinus or cold? Da 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 da. Okay, Tammy. Right, Sarah Beth? They'll tell us what they're good for. If you just mentally ask them, hey, why am I drawn to you? What do you want to do for me? It'll tell you. And there's a lot of rocks out there that are, I call them, mutt rocks. They're not the kind of rocks that you buy at the lapidary that, have labels of them. This is what it is. They're a mixture of things that are in our natural environment. A lot of times those will be very helpful for us too, and they'll tell us what they're good for. Like there's a lot of iron in the ground around where I live. And I picked up a piece of that one time and asked it, and it said I'm really good for, whenever menstruating, which I am low on iron pretty much all the time anyway. Like when they take my blood, you know how they take a drop of blood and they'll wait to see if it'll fall? That's how they can tell if you have enough iron or not. My blood like floats around the top, floats around the top, floats around the top for about a minute, and then it finally falls. So usually they'll take my blood, but we have to wait for it to happen. Your birthday's in 2 days. Awesome. Happy birthday. I have a birthday special. If you get a reading within the week of your birthday, you get a 40% discount. You just have to remind me that you want a birthday reading. You just had a nice lunch. Glad to hear that. We're in the middle of Reiki. We've got about 2 more minutes to go. You have some mutt rocks. Right, Willie Dog's mama? Whenever you picked them up, there was a reason they wanted to be with you. Yep. You'll hear them. They'll tell you. You may not actually hear them say something, but you'll have an impression anyway. You're quite welcome, Sarah Beth. One more minute on the Reiki. If you guys have any questions about Reiki, I know we've been talking about rocks, but really this is a good time to talk about Reiki too. Awesome, Avneet. That's wonderful. When are you going to see the first one? So this is 29 after. Let me wrap up the Reiki. We do have a nice little group that hangs out together, don't we? I love our group too. I wish it was bigger. I want to help more people. That's the only thing that I wish would be different. Saturday. Awesome. Yay. Okay, so wow, you guys took off like crazy. So I guess we're into CODs and questions of the day. Hannah David, COD for you. I like to always start with Lenormand, so that's what we're going to do. Thank you, Willie Dog's mama. I appreciate that sharing. Okay, Hannah David. House card is, yeah, I like this deck too. Ooh, baby. You got the ship. This is interesting. This could be talking about traveling or it could be talking about long distance communication, either one. Let's see what comes up for the cover card. Cover card is the Scythe. Oh, I don't know if I like that. We are in Mercury retrograde. So this is going to be something that's happened within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. There could be a trip that you were planning on taking that got canceled, or maybe you were even on it and it got cut short. Or it could be that communication with somebody got cut off. Maybe your telephone lines got accidentally cut. Something like that. All right, so that was Hannah David. Gemma Croft Baker needs a COD. Julius, okay, good question. Oh, Ricky Jorgensen. Are you sure you want to limit it to the Pisces or the Scorpio? What if there's someone you haven't met yet? Starlight, we're kind of assuming that you'll find love within the next few months if you ask me that, huh? Okay, Faye. Just get a hold of me for that. I think you've got my Skype ID if you're who I'm thinking you are. If not, all you have to do is go to my website and get my contact information there. My website is www.amista.info. All right, so let's see. I'm shuffling for Gemma Croft Baker, COD for you. 7 of clubs, you are putting up boundaries. You're telling somebody, you know what, I don't mind helping you this much, but after that, forget it. I'm not doing it. Does that make sense for you, Ms. Gemma? Tammy Bambi also needs a COD. Tammy Bambi. Thank you for all the thumbs up, guys. That's wonderful. I do appreciate it. Tammy Bambi, you've got the 10 of arrows in reverse. I feel like this means that you're teaching somebody something or you're mentoring somebody either within the past 24 hours or within the next 24 hours, Tammy Bambi. Doesn't have to be formal teaching. Angela Lukes wants a COD. You're welcome, as always. La-dee-dee-da-da-da-da. Angela Lukes. Coming right up. Ooh. Okay, Miss Angela, you got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This just means that there's somebody that you've been very generous with, and you have realized that that generosity is not really accomplishing the mission that you wanted it to accomplish. And so now you are cutting that generosity off. You're like, it's not doing what I wanted it to do anyway. You know, it's not helping that person in the way I wanted to help them. And so you're just done with that. I hope that makes sense for you. Floral 90 needs a COD. Julie, I do see your question. I am just not there yet. You're actually after Floral 90, who I'm doing right now. Floral 90 wants a COD. I think that chat, when people enter into chat, I think it shows up in different order on different people's computer. So I've run into that before where you guys are thinking, wait, you skipped me. And then according to my chat, I haven't. Okay, so let's look at Floral 90. That happened yesterday. Cool, cool, Angela. Floral 90. Oh, you've got the Tower card. Now you can see this is probably not the most fun card to get, but it's not as bad as it looks either. So Floral, when you've got the Tower card, what this just means is that there was something that made you feel secure in this life that has basically been suddenly and surprisingly out of the blue removed from your life. I have this card come up for lost jobs, wrecked cars, um, even lost cell phones, because, cell phone, especially if you're a single woman, a cell phone offers you a lot of security. Um, but anyway, there's a good side to this card, because this is really the beginning of a process. When the Tower card comes up, it just tells us that whatever it is that we were involved in that was making us feel secure, we'd kind of gotten to the top of whatever we could do with that. We had reached the outer limits of growth and expansion with that. And even though we'd reached the outer limits, because it felt so safe and secure, we were not willing to look outside Floral 90. We weren't willing to look outside of that thing for other opportunities where we could grow or expand, because we liked that security. And so we began to stagnate. And so what happens when we start stagnating is Spirit will give us a while to rectify that. But then if we don't, he really doesn't like stagnation. And he'll just boot us right out of that safe space, which forces us to look for new opportunities where we can grow and expand. So the good news when you see a card like this come up, when you see the Tower come up, is that the opportunities that you find will actually be better than what you had before. And so in the end, you'll end off in a better situation than what you started out with. But with the Tower card, when it comes up right side up, you're still kind of in that phase where you're catching your breath and you're just like, oh my God, what am I going to do type of thing. So that's where I have you right now, is just sort of at that Tower card. Next, you'll be seeing the opportunities that are better. Does that make sense to you, Floral 90? You're quite welcome, Julius. And you guys are talking enough that I've lost my place now. I'm gonna have to back up. Okay, so I'm gonna be behind on conversation. I'll have to catch up later. So Julius wants to know, will there be a change in her job position within the next 2 months? So by the end of May. Will there be a change in Julius's job position by the end of May of 2018? We've got a mixed bag showing up here. I don't have a solid yes or no, which means that it's probably not going to be what you're thinking. Let's see. All right, so Julius, the first thing that we have coming up is we have the Ten of Clubs reversed. Now, the Ten of Clubs reversed does not make me very happy when I see it in regards to jobs, because the Ten of Clubs reversed talks about having less responsibility. If it came up right side up, I would see it as a promotion or as starting a new job. This is less responsibility. So the only way I see this as good news in a job situation is if you are bucking to get somebody to come in and be your assistant, and this will be your assistant showing up, and so now you carry less of a load. Okay? So if that's the case, yay for you. Otherwise, not so sure I'm going to say yay for you. Then I've got the Hanged Man showing up, which talks about that there are delays with any kind of changes in the position. So even if you are losing some job responsibilities, there are delays in how long that takes to actually get those transferred over to somebody else. Maybe there's a hard time getting somebody trained to take over whatever these responsibilities are that you're wanting somebody else to have, or that management is wanting somebody else to have. Now, we do have a good card thrown in here that I like. This is the Ace of Cups. This talks about finding something that you really like. I think that this could be that you actually are looking for a new position and you find a good opportunity that you can put in a resume and hope for an interview there, to be honest with you. With that new position, what I've got after that is the World in reverse. When we've got the World in reverse, that tells me that at first you thought this was your dream job that you found. Now you're starting to realize, oops, nope, it's not really. Okay. And then what we've got coming up at the end of our 2-month time period, we've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. This to me is really a disappointment. There's something going on that's really disappointing. So even if you're still staying at this job where you have less responsibilities, and this could be you walking away from a job too and just saying, I don't want this job, take this job and shove it, as Willie Nelson used to say. This to me shows disappointment. So this may be that even though you thought this job was really great and now it's not all of that, you might have been still trying to pursue it anyway. This would be that it's not coming in. Okay. So the good news when we have a reading like this is we've got a heads up. So I would say, especially seeing that what you were going for didn't come in, if you can stay at the current position, until you've got something for sure, I would. I wouldn't walk away from there just right now unless I absolutely, positively had to. Okay. So I hope that helps you, Julius. Ricky Jorgensen, in a relationship with a Pisces or a Scorpio. Man. I don't like that. You're limiting spirit with that question. We're going to say with a Pisces, with a Scorpio, or with someone else. That's what we're going to ask. Scorpio, I'm going to say there is a lot of confusion. I think you're going to make a decision about that, and I think you're going to decide, nope, not really the right time for the Scorpio. With the Pisces, I think you're kind of waiting on the Pisces to make a move. And I do think that this Pisces is going to make a move. I think it's going to be up to you to decide if you want to be in a relationship with this Pisces or not by the time he does make a move. As far as with another person, I really am not seeing that so strongly, but because I put down 3 cards for each one. The first 2 cards don't show that strongly, but I do see a coming back together with somebody. So I don't know that it becomes a relationship necessarily, but I think that you will hear from somebody that you have considered being with before, that you consider even family, and they may say something, maybe this is a friend of the family even that might be saying something about the possibility of a relationship with you. Not sure I see anything really solidifying out of any of those 3 options though. Anna Lopez would like to have a COD. Okay, Anna Lopez, and this is going to be the last card of the day. Anna, you got the 8 of Swords in reverse. And the 8 of Swords in reverse is telling me that you did have a situation in your life that you were feeling trapped or paralyzed in. And as that situation has either changed or more likely you're getting a different perspective on that situation, either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. And as you look at that situation with a different perspective, you're starting to see that there's really no reason to be paralyzed. It's easy to see what you should be doing here. So that's what I have coming in for you, Miss Anna. I do appreciate you guys all being here. Let me see about feedback because that's going to be the last question that I answer. Let's see. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. So Julia answered your question. I hope that made sense to you, honey. And Ricky, I hope that made sense to you. I know it wasn't exactly what you were hoping to hear. You're quite welcome, Tammy Bambi. You have a good day yourself. It does? Okay, cool. Thank you, Julie. It does make sense to you. Your babysitting, tell me about it. Not a very comfortable place to be in is right, Floral 90. I'll give you that. You're quite welcome, Julie. Yes. Ms. Lady J, hello, hello. I'm sorry too. Rena Sada, hello, hello. Glad to see you here, honey. I did see your COD request, but I didn't get that far, sweetheart. Ah, gotcha, Ricky. I hear you. You're quite welcome on the Reiki. You're quite welcome, Anna. Quite welcome, Jane. And you have a wonderful day as well. Many blessings to you, Rena. Glad that makes sense to you, Ricky. Yep, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Oh, I'm glad, Sakina Purnell. We do Reiki every single day. Well, every single day that I make it here anyway. Also, if you want to schedule your own Reiki session, I do offer the first Reiki session for free. After that, if you want more, then we talk about money. But if you want to schedule a free Reiki session with me, it does last an hour and the energy is focused directly on just you. And so all you have to do is, reach out to me and we can get that scheduled. And not just you, Sakina, like anybody in the room. If you haven't had your free Reiki session with me, schedule that. All my contact information is on my website, which is www.amista.info, I-N-F-O. Same thing if you guys want a reading. I do also do live readings via Skype or the phone or in person if you happen to be local. And I also have recorded readings if you just want one or two questions answered. And if you're in the local area, I clear houses and do psychic parties as well. Thank you, Ricky. Everybody, thank you for being here, for keeping me fresh on my toes, giving me some stuff to chew on as far as work here in the free for all questions and cards of the day. Everyone have a wonderful day. Peace out.